What's up, guys? It's Aaron from Team High Roll, and today we're going to be doing the revised deck list of Shaddolls. The first build didn't test out so well, so we decided to change things up a little bit, and mainly just the main deck. The extra deck's pretty much the same, like one card difference, but I'll go ahead and go over it all for you guys. So let's just get right into it. 3 Mathematician. Mathematician is way too good not to play. I mean, it's literally send any level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the grave, which, because of Squamata, can be any Shaddoll monster you want. So, yeah, I mean, it's obvious that you have to play this. Then we play 3 Beast. This is something I actually thought about cutting down to 2, just because it's really dead in your opening hand unless you have a fusion. However, when you do have a fusion, you do get that extra draw, so that's definitely helpful. It's the only card that you can't send directly with Mathematician, but we do play Squamata, so it's taken care of pretty much, which is the next card. So 2 Squamata for the exact reason I just said, being able to send Beast, also being able to send Core, and get back a Shaddoll fusion. Yeah. Then 2 Falco. Falco is really good. I mean, it brings back stuff from the grave. You can bring back your fusions, your beasts, whatever you need. Not much to explain there. I have thought about cutting it down to 1, but with Vanity's only at 1, it's pretty much free to do whatever it wants. So I think 2 is a good number. And then 1 Dragon. Clees aren't as relevant anymore, and Satellars are kind of hit or miss for the most part. We don't have Star Seraphs yet, so once again, Satellars not as relevant. Dragons not gonna have that many targets to hit when you're playing against Necros. Not gonna have that many targets to hit when you're in the mirror match. So I'd rather have the 2 Falco than 2 Dragon. And then 1 Hedgehog, basically just to get, when you send it to the grave, you add a Squamata to your hand that you can use with El Shaddoll Fusion. That's pretty much the only thing you do with this. Then for the lights, 3 Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is way too good this format. It's good against the Tellers, it's good against Necros. I mean, it's okay against Shaddolls, not the best. But yeah, it shuts down Necros way too hard. I mean, it doesn't shut them down, but it's really good against them. Then 2 Denko Sekka, Satellar Knights, the mirror match, grown a little bit of back row. So I mean, it's pretty relevant, just because you summon it and then you shut off all of their back row and you're free to do whatever you want. The only thing is that I do run, I'm not heavy back row, but I do run some back row. But as long as you aren't stupid about it and know how to play around your own back row, it shouldn't be a problem. And then 1 Felice. I decided to main this just because it's okay against established fields because you'll black rose, but I mean, it's not the best because you might draw it. Sometimes it's just good to get a free pop though with Mathematician. So then 1 Thunder King, because this card will single-handedly shut down Necros. They have to do, I mean, if they have like the ability to already ritual summon, then it's not going to be that great, but a lot of times you'll stop a lot of their searching, because that's all that deck does pretty much. So and then 1 Paraparo Cerberus, new card from Premium Gold. You have to play this because of the Ginlock and the ability to dump this with Mathematician and then Mathematician crash into the Chrysalis or whatever is Ginlocked, and then banish this from the grave and pop the Jin, because it happens in the damage step, so they cannot go near. Then 1 Dark Armed. You play a bunch of darks, so obviously run Dark Armed. And then 1 BLS, because this card is broken. So then 3 Shaddoll Fusion. You have to see it, so you have to run 3. I kind of want to cut it down, but at the same time, you do have to see it, so... sorry about that, the camera cut out. But as I was saying about Shaddoll Fusion, you have to run 3 along with Shaddoll Fusion just because you do have to see it, and this one is better because you can do it on your opponent's turn and it's more reactive. But like I said, you have to run 3 of each. So, and then 1 Foolish Burial. You get effects from cards being sent to the grave, so Foolish Burial is relatively obvious. 1 MST. I don't know. MST is not that good right now just because pretty much no one's playing Cleese, and Satellar Knights are the only deck that you would like to have MST against, but at the same time it's only good against their Call of the Haunted because you're not just going to blind space them, and most of the time they're not just going to have 1 back row, so you're not just going to space the 1 back row against them. So it's not that great, and Denko Sekka will pretty much have you covered against those matchups. So I could see dropping it, but I like to be able to have at least 1 just in case. You know, you never know what you're going to run into. You might run into something rogue, totally weird, that you need MST against, and I'd like to at least have 1 in the deck so that I'm not totally out. And then 1 Book of Moon. It's an out to the Gin Lock. That's about all that needs to be said. Raigeki clears your opponent's field, not yours. Pretty broken. Not much to be said there. 1 Shaddoll Core gets you back Shaddoll Fusions from the grave when you send it with Squamata or Construct. Yeah, I mean, you can use it to fusion with as well, and then it'll also get you back fusion, but I find myself sending it with Squamata or Construct more, and then I just get back El Shaddoll and combo more. Then I run 2 Sinister Shadow Games. This card is really good to open with. Not that great once you're later in the game, but if you open with it, it's great. So for that fact, you would think running 3 would be the best because you'd want to open with it, but at the same time, it's not that great later in the game, so you don't want to leave extra copies in your deck. So I think 2 is a perfect number for this card. Then 2 Mistakes. This deck only searches off of Hedgehog. Pretty sure it's the only card you search off of? Yeah. So it's pretty obvious that this card is going to hurt the meta, whether that be Satellar Knights or if people are still playing Cleese. I don't know yet. It's only been about a week. But if people are still playing Cleese, and obviously completely shuts down Necros. So it's pretty obvious that you should be running this. And then 2 Mind Crush. A lot of people would say, oh, you're already running Mistake. Why do you need Mind Crush? Well, Mind Crush can be used in smarter ways than Mistake, whereas if someone activates a specific ritual spell, like say Kaleidoscope, they're probably going to be going for a Unicore play, so Mind Crushing their Unicore when they do that is really good, whereas Mistake's not going to stop that Unicore. So I like the ability to have Mind Crush or Mistake, just because I think Mind Crush can be used in a much better way than Mistake can, but at the same time Mistake can completely shut down the deck. So that's why I like both. And then 1 Vanities. It's at 1, you might as well splash it in. It's really good to just make a big board and then flip Vanities and then let your opponent try their best to get around that, which sometimes they have the out, sometimes they don't, and if they don't, you just win. And then 1 Ring of Destruction because it's back off the ban list and it's still really, really good. It's also an out to the Gin Lock, so once again, pretty obvious. Then for the extra deck, it's still 3 Constructs. Construct's obvious. 2 Winda. I mean, this is really good against certain matchups, not that great against like Necros because obviously they just drop a Unicorn attack right over it, not to mention the Unicorns are going to negate the effect anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's good against like Satellar Knights or Burning Abyss, so not as good as Construct, but you still have to run it. And then 1 Shekinaga. It's really good in the mirror match. Kind of good against Necros. Well, no, it's actually really good against Necros. But I don't know. You have to use an Earth to get it out, and I only run Mathematician and Pero Cerberus. And a lot of times I don't want to use the Mathematician just because I do want to get the +1 when it dies. So in that sense, I'd rather let the Mathematician die by battle, but if I do need to go into Shekinaga, it is there. And that is why I only run one, because it's just not as good as the others. One Armides, because you can make it with Mathematician and a Falco. It's really just good to get around Valkyries right now, because you attack with this first, and obviously they can't Valk that, and they have to take the 23. So, HCS Psyhemoth. This card's okay. It's not the best. I mean, it's an out to the Jinlock, but you know, you're probably not going to be able to get this out against the Jinlock. I mean, if you do already have it on the field, then the Glacialis won't be able to stop it with its effect, because I don't believe it negates the effect. Maybe it does, I don't know. But, I mean, it's not bad right now, but it's not the best. But I do feel like it's better than Goyo. So if you're going to run a 6, HCS Psyhemoth is the way to go. And then one Arcanite and one Black Rose for the 7s. Arcanite is just when you have stuff already on the field, like maybe you have a mistake face up that you don't want to lose, or something that Black Rose would blow up if it came onto the field. You can make an Arcanite instead and then pop cards that you need to get rid of. Whereas Black Rose, if you are behind, you can make a Black Rose and easily make a simplified game state. And then Leo, because Construct and Falco will make this, and it's great against Burning Abyss. If you make this against Burning Abyss, they pretty much can't do anything, so. And then one Lavalval Chain. I like Lavalval Chain in this because it will, if you can make a rank 4, then you can just send Dragon and pop a back row, and then proceed to go off, or send Falco if you, it's basically just another Foolish Burial. Or you can stack like a BLS at the top of your deck. I think it's a really versatile card, and I think everyone should be playing it, honestly. One Abyss Dweller. Shaddolls are going to be really relevant, and Burning Abyss as well, so Abyss Dweller is really good against them. It's not that bad against Necros because you can stop their mirrors in the grave, but it's not going to do much against their hand effects, so I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best against Necros, but because of Burning Abyss and Shaddolls, I think you should be running it. And then 1x Ton Knight. Pretty much the same reason as Black Rose. You clear the field, make simplified game state, and swing advantage back into your favor. And then one Castel, because it's Castel. It's the best rank 4, I think, right now. Pretty much everyone's running it, and so it's obvious not to run it. And I'm not going to show the side deck because it's pretty janky right now. I didn't really have enough time to put together a good side deck after we took it apart a few weeks ago. So now I don't have a side deck built right now to show you guys. Sorry about that, but it would pretty much be the same as what we had in the last one, with shared rides and stuff like that. Lancias maybe, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the whole deck profile on Shaddolls. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell us why our build sucks. Whatever. Thanks, guys.